Well, good morning, boys and girls. Today I'm here to share another one of my favorites. And this book is called Not Norman, a Goldfish Story. And it is written by Kelly Bennett, illustrated by Noah Z. Jones. And let's remember, the author is the one that writes it, and the illustrator is the one that draws the pictures. Not Norman. And here's our title page. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet. Not Norman. How can you tell that he's not that excited about his new pet? Can you guys see his face? Does he look excited? I don't think so. I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase things. A soft, furry pet to sleep on my bed at night. Not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and around and around and around and around and around and around. And guys, you can see that he's sitting there with Not Norman, and he's watching the girl with her kitten, and he's watching the boy play fetch with the dog. And I think he looks a little bit sad. This is it, Norman. I decided I'm trading you for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky bowl. When I drop Norman into his nice clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping, flapping his fins around. He looks so goofy, I had to laugh. Don't think that just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you. I tell him tomorrow, you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. The next day, I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe someone will want him. On the way there, we see my friend Austin. Austin has a real cool dog and 7 puppies. Want to swap one of your pups for Norman, I asked. Who's Norman? Asked Austin. My goldfish, I say. By the time I rescue Norman, half his water is gone. I'm sorry, I tell Norman when we get to school. I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all googly-eyed. Finally, it's my turn to show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, "Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose?" Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No, they're all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. Not Norman, he's looking right at me. Thanks for listening, I tell him. That afternoon, we go to my music lesson. As soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take out my tuba and begin to play. Bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. I glance over at Norman. He's swaying back and forth. Glug, 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 he mouths. Look, Norman's singing, I say. Pay attention, snaps Maestro, and try to play the proper notes. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time my lesson is over, it's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm going to keep you, I tell Norman. He glugs. That night, I'm sound asleep when screech, scritch. What's that noise? Scratch, scritch, screech. Yikes, there's something at the window. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I spot Norman. He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He glugs and gives me a little wave. I'm not alone. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. Thanks for watching out for me, Norman. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store, just like I said I would. I look at the cats and dogs and snakes and birds. I look at hamsters and mice and lizards too. They all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. When I got Norman, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep him. But now, even if I could pick any pet in the whole world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman. And I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but he's put a sign above his aquarium and it says, Norman, one amazing fish. I love this story so much. I've read it so many times. Guys, if you look at my book, and I know it's hard to see from where you are, but I've got pages loose. I bet you have books like that too, where you've read them so many times because you like it so much that the pages get loose. That's when you know it's a great book. And I love this story so much because at the beginning of this story, he wasn't happy about Norman, not at all. In fact, he was sad. And I think he was a little bit jealous of some of his friends who had cooler pets than he did. But in the end, he decided he loved Norman so much. And I think it's really cute how Norman likes to listen to him play music and he sings along. So guys, I enjoyed reading this for you and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.